Hello, I'm Claudia from Heartmade.ds, and today I want to show you all my materials, the ones I use for watercolor paintings, and explain you why I use everything and how I use it. So here you can see like the brushes that I'm using. This is a very big brush from a store, a local store from Barcelona, so there is no brand, it's just the brush they create inside the store, and it really works for me because it's very good for watercolors. It's super big, and with this I paint like big moons or things that I do really big and I don't need a lot of detail. Then I'm so in love with two brands of brushes, which are on the one side Skoda, which is a brand from Barcelona. This is the name, and sorry, I see it not focusing. I guess now it's well. So this is the name Skoda, and they do have natural fibers and also fake fibers. So if you prefer to use not natural fibers, they also offer it. And they do have lots of different style of brushes, but I love the quality of them, and they are not super expensive. So I have these two, and then this is a bigger size. As you can see, I usually work with round brushes, so this is my preferences to paint with watercolors. And then there is this other brand that I started discovering by other painters, and usually they are from the United States, so they recommended this brand, Princeton, and I was trying to find it here in Barcelona, but I couldn't. So at the end, when I went to the United States a few years ago, that's one of the souvenirs I bought for me. So yeah, I have those brushes and I love them. The quality is really great. So these and the Skoda brushes are the ones that I use daily. Then here you can see that I also have this tool, and I'm starting to use this to add extra texture to my paintings, like here. So all these details, I made them directly with paint, and I just draw directly here. And I'm using also watercolors here, although it looks like wash, but it was watercolor. Okay, so this is for brushes. Now let's see about paintings, and that's why I have this here to compare the different results of the paintings. So I started years ago painting with Winsor & Newton, and I bought this little box that comes with just these colors, and here you can see it's just been used for a while, so many of the colors have finished, and I refilled some. This is a new, it's a turquoise that I love, and I just bought the tube and I added a little bit here inside. I just let it dry during night, and then I'm able to use it as a dry painting. So this is what I've been using for many years, just these dry watercolor paintings. Then I also have a bigger palette, but it's just the same, a box from Winsor & Newton that comes with colors, and you can fill it or change it as you want. Then when I started traveling, I bought this portable palette, and I fill it with the colors that I wanted. So in this case, I purchased the colors on tubes. Let me see if I have one to show you. Tubes like this, and they come in small. This is the smallest size, and then they come in bigger size, but you simply open it and it's kind of liquid, so you need to fill it. And if you want to use it as a dry painting, then you let it dry for the night, but you can also use it directly wet. The only difference is that you will use more pigment if it's wet than if it's dry. So this is what I was using when I was traveling, and in terms of brushes, I was using this water portable brushes, so I was filling them with water and I could go anywhere on the beach or anywhere just traveling with this, and it was easy to carry. A small paper, you simply open it here, you fill it with clean water, and then you use the brush as if it was a normal brush, and every time you press, it's like if you were taking water from a pot. So the other brand I wanted to talk to you about, it's Van Gogh, and I discovered it lately because my boyfriend had this box and I started trying, and I honestly love some of the pigments, like this pretty orange or these greens. They look like they are really different than the Winsor & Newton ones, and I'm starting to love it. So during many years I was a fan of only Winsor & Newton. Now I'm open to more ideas. And with these kind of paintings, just dry paintings, you can get results like these here or these. So these are paintings that I just did with this kind of watercolors. But then these others, maybe you cannot tell the difference a lot on the video, but I can tell it a lot from the pinks because it's much brighter, much saturated, and this comes from the liquid watercolors. So this is exactly the pink that I used to create this this strawberry here, and also the greens, you can see they are much more saturated. So this is just liquid watercolor. I fill it in a plastic palette like this one. I just fill here, and I use water also to dilute it, so it's the same process, just that you directly have the painting wet. Here in this box you can see I also have this other brand, but it's the same. It's liquid watercolor. It's like an ink, and you paint directly with this. Then here I also have this Sumi ink, which is Indian ink. I think it's Chinese ink in this case, and it's just black, a very big bottle of black ink that works great for both calligraphy and painting. And then finally, I also have these pens that they are from this brand Karin, and they came in a box, all these colors here, and I love them for calligraphy, but I've seen many people painting with them too. I honestly don't use them to paint, just for calligraphy. So these are the materials that are more liquidly style, and then let me show you the last brand that I discovered, which is this one. It's Arteta, and I bought this super big box. It's the first time I bought a big box of paintings, and I'm so happy with it. Then you open it, and now it may be a little bit messy. It's not like if I just bought it, but you have so many colors here, all in tubes. And again, you can just directly paint from the painting that comes out from the tube, or let it dry. I am trying lately to paint directly with the tube paints, and some of them are really opaque, like this one. Let's see if it focuses well, the recording. So this is super opaque. No, it's half opaque and very saturated. I think it's this. This is super opaque because it has the square field, and then there are others that are more transparent. So yeah, like this one. This one is more transparent. So it's great. It's a very great brand, and sometimes the most opaque ones, they look like wash. That's why some of the paintings, like the one I showed you before, it looks more like if I was using wash. And here I have an example of painting with one of the opaques. So this sunflower, you can see it's not as, so if you use water, it's the same result as wash, but it's still watercolor. So these are the paintings, and finally let me talk to you about paper. There are a couple of papers I've been using lately. So these ones, it's not a very thick, it's very like not thick, yeah, not stiff, sorry. So you can move it and it's light, but at the same time it's good for watercolors because it really takes the water as you need. And this is from this block here, which the brand is, I think it's this acid free, no, SMLT Art. So SMLT Art. And it comes with many papers and you can simply take them off easily from here. So this is a nice paper I've been using lately. Then I also bought this, which is from Arteta, the same brand I showed you the last paintings from. And this is just like more like a sketchbook with watercolor painting. The only thing is that in one side, this side, it's not as textured as this side. So this is great for watercolors, and then you have a couple of pages which are better for maybe wash or other kind of paintings. Finally, the papers that I use the most are this block from Fabriano, and it's kind of a big format, so it's bigger than regular size paper, and it worked great for me during years because I like painting a little bit bigger than these sizes. Now these are just like extra papers that I bought, big papers I cut and then I reused the extra pieces. But this paper, I've been loving it for years, and it's really cheap, this block. It comes with 75 papers and it has a very good thickness, and it's not as light as the other I was showing you as the first one. So I just love it. The only problem lately is that I don't have a big scanner. I had to change my scanner. I'm using just a regular one from a home printer. And then if I want to scan this big piece, I will have to scan it in two parts and join it in Photoshop. So every time I just need to design clip art paintings like these ones, I do it in smaller pieces and it's easier for me to finish the process. But yeah, these are the materials that I use when I paint with watercolors mostly. Maybe I forgot to show you this, which is the masking fluid, and it's also from Winsor & Newton, but there are many brands, and I bought it in white because during many years I was using it in blue. And then if you have been using masking fluid, you will know that you paint with it, and then what you paint with this, once it's dried, if you paint over, you are not really painting the paper. It's like protecting that area of the paper. So when you peel it off, which is very easy to peel and not break the paper, then that area stays white with the paper color. So when I was using the blue one, the painting, it looked, like the blue was really interfering on the colors of the painting. And even though I knew that at the end I would peel it off and you will no longer see the blue, to my eyes while I was painting, it was difficult to see the end result, and I just tried with the white one and I'm loving it much more. So this is why I have the white one, but they both work well. So yeah, these are my tools, my materials. I know there are so many brands and I haven't tried them all, but most of them are like kind of affordable materials. They are not the most expensive brands, but they are good if you want to start, or if you need to paint many things like I do, and then you paint on the other side, so you don't feel bad by using these papers because they are not as expensive, and you don't feel the pressure of the white or the blank space, because you know if this doesn't come well, you can use another one and you'll be fine. But at the same time, the materials are with really good quality, so you get good results. If you were using just paintings from the craft store, not the craft store, just like a regular school paintings, then the results will not be as good as these. The water will not be making all these shades, and the colors would not be bright or mixing well between them. So you want to go for good quality and affordable prices, and this is what I found. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them there. I always love reading your comments, and please like and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more free watercolor and other tutorials every week.